All right, you ready? All right, welcome to the Straight Red Card. This is a little series we're going to do after the Gold Cup. The questions are, and people requested this actually. Somebody sent me an email and said, well, can you break down each position and the depth of each, position and where we are now? Who's, give us a good list of people worth talking about for each position, and then tell us who, are the top guys. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to start this. Before I get there, make sure you subscribe, you like, and those two guys that keep on not liking our show, shame on you. Speak up. Tell us why. Don't just
say thanks for the clicks and the views though.
Yeah.
Still
hey,
counts.
Man. I mean, we can't really thank them for that. They might have been tricked. They might have clicked on it because they're like, oh,
God, these assholes again. Dislike.
And then when they heard us talk, they're like, oh, these guys that swear so much, they're pigs. And then they dislike us. All right. So this isn't going to be really based on, it's got to be a mix, right, Brad? It can't be just like what you want. It's got to have a mixture of what Berhalter wants as well. I mean, we got to be realistic about, you can't just like, if we're talking about holding midfielders, you can't say, well, I want Chris Durkin. Fuck it. And just like, because that he's, that would be ridiculous.
So you're saying I need to scratch off my my attacking mid depth, right? No CAMs.
So once we get to CAM, for
right.
instance, no CAMs, because Greg does not play CAMs. So it would be unrealistic for us to look at our depth going forward, since we know Berhalter's not getting fired anytime soon. He will be our coach during qualifying. So we have to realistically look going into qualifiers who really qualifies to play in Berhalter's system. And so we'll mix, of course, our own favoritism in with certain players. But I think we got to be at least fair, because, there are a lot of CAMs out there, like Caden Clark. But Berhalter's just not going to play him as a CM. He'll end up playing out wide or wherever he plays him, probably not the midfield. So
here's the big question. Are we looking at these players and taking current injuries into consideration, or are we just saying, if everybody was healthy, here's our list?
I think you have to take into consideration their injury if it's extremely serious.
It's like, say, Long.
Yes.
We can consider him not an option.
But Zimmerman, you can't really take off the plate yet because we don't know, for instance. And this is for center back. And we're going to be doing and starting with goalkeepers.
You got to bring up the examples. We don't have a good goalkeeper for that example.
You know what? I shouldn't even put goalkeeper in the subject line or the title of this, because as soon as people see it, they're like, oh, that's boring. These guys are going to talk about goalkeepers? Snooze. All right, but we're going to do it anyhow. So first we're going to throw up the pool.
Don't throw it up. Just put it up there.
All right, well, okay. What? All right, David Ochoa is in the pool. He would have been, but he just filed for a one-time change, so I'm sure we're going to have to just eliminate him from this list. He's going to Mexico. Go. What'd you say?
I said, well, bye.
Right. Bye-bye. Shituru Odunze at Leicester City, who's been on some of the rosters, never played. Bill Hamid, Brad Guzan, Sean Johnson, Ethan Horvath, Matt Turner, and Zach Steffen. We've already talked about why Dave, and we're going to pick the top three here. So let's do it by a process of elimination. We've already eliminated Ochoa, but Odunze is barely out of diapers for a goalie. So he's got to be eliminated as well, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Bill Hamid.
Berhalter just doesn't like Hamid.
Yeah.
I think he's in the same boat with Miazga. Kicking those dogs. Swear to God. There'll be a whole group against people against players who kick dogs.
Yeah, exactly. The thing with Bill Hamid is, honestly, If you were looking at how Turner plays with his feet, and you compare that to Hamid's worse. He's worse with his feet than Turner.
Similar to
So
Turner, at least in the past, he was a top notch shot stopper though.
he is, but the value of that these days has gone down. You have to be able to play with your feet at least semi competently to be a goalkeeper now for any decent club. So everybody wants to play out of the back.
What if
Everybody
your
wants.
long ball distribution is just top notch?
Well, that's what gives Turner kind of an extra boost, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a good long passer. So yeah, Bill Hamid's got to go. He's got no shot. Mini Me, aka Brad Guzan.
It's funny that he's even on the list right here, man.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it was great to have him at the Gold Cup as an extra coach, right? That's what he was. But we get into qualifiers. We don't need an extra coach necessarily because, it's very possible two keepers could get injured, especially since one of those three is Zach Steffen, and he loves to get injured. So
he's got
he's
like
out.
1.5 knees. So
yeah, I know. And then, he played a friendly for Man City the weekend. And I noticed going over the stats, I'm like, he got pulled in the 80th minute for what? And I'm like, my first thought was, oh, he got injured again. But I haven't found any reports that that's the case. They were just giving some other guy 10 minutes. And then Sean Johnson is just, I think, just on the outside looking in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And that leaves you Zach Steffen, Matt Turner, and Ethan Horvath to put in order. So my number 3 right now is Ethan Horvath.
Yeah.
Who's yours?
I mean, yeah. Horvath was building a case in the Nations League.
I know you had him as our number 1 right after that.
Right after that, yeah. Well, yeah. He was
flavor of the month, baby.
Yeah, that's exactly. And you know what? After the Gold Cup, Turner was my number 1.
I know, man. You are easily swayed. It's like the last person to leave the room.
Yep. I like it. It's mine. It's number 1, guys. Now it's I guess Horvath would be number 3, in my opinion, too.
Unless you're going to put Stefan at number 3.
It's a toss-up, but I'd probably still start. I would start Stefan over Horvath. Like if everybody was healthy and in shape and sharp, Stefan starts, in my opinion, over Horvath.
You know what I would do if I were Greg?
Mm-hmm.
I'd flip a coin. Honestly, I would, because you just never know when you're going to get another fantastic game out of Horvath. But you know what? The thing with Horvath is he just got to Nottingham Forest. Let's see how that works out. Let's see if he plays right away or if he's got to do more, sitting the bench, treating his hemorrhoids. So if that continues, then he made a really bad selection, number 1. He should have had his agent and he should have looked over the situation there to make sure he had a clear chance to be the number 1 there.
That move still boggles my mind, but
what, Bruges?
No, it boggles my mind that he moved to Forest.
I'm a huge old school Norris closet fan. And back when I was like a kid, they were like one of the best teams in England. So, and I liked not the whole Nottingham Forest, the whole, Robin Hood. Yeah, that's where he lived, when I was a kid. Sure. So it's kind of into that.
I guess the one good thing is that if he does start, he'll get a lot of opportunities to play. A lot of shots on goal and whatnot.
Exactly. I think I thought about this long and hard, Brett, after the last show. So I'm going to change my opinion from last show. That's so weird. I think Matt Turner's our number 1 right now. Just in
form. He's in form, flat out. He's playing week in, week out. Stefan Horvath are entering preseason. They're gonna be entering the season here soon. I don't see Stefan cracking the starting spot, so that means he's gonna be relegated to playing the cup games or whatever. Horvath's gonna be fighting for his spot. So at this point, Turner would be not my number 1.
If Turner gets in close with Greg, then because we all know that Zach Steffen is one of Greg's guys
Yeah,
from Columbus. So
which is
that's
why I think Berhalter will start him. But
I think he probably will start Steffen. And we'll see how much playing time he gets. Again, like Horvath, there's no guarantee of like lots of playing time outside of cup games at Man City if you're Steffen. So there's really no guarantee that he's going to play a lot. And that leaves you with a guy who's playing all the time. And I'm still shocked during this transfer season. We haven't heard any rumors of, European clubs interested in Turner. It's just boggles my mind. Is everybody so into fiddly fucking around in the backfield? Yes, that's an official thing now that they can't
it's got its own Wikipedia page.
Yeah, fiddly fuck.
Yep.
I mean, that no one's interested in this guy just because it's sort of a well-known fact that he's got issues making short passes. I mean, on the ground. It just blows my mind, Brett. But right now, I've got Turner 1. We've both got Steffen as number 2, and then we have Horvath at number 3. And we need to, before we draw this show out, we need to think about the way we're pronouncing Berhalter. I really do prefer Tactical's pronunciation of Berhalter, because that is how it would be pronounced if he were like still German, that's like the most German name you could have.
For that argument, we should be calling it Pulisic.
Well, we should call it whatever Greg wants.
Sure. I've been calling Greg Trip G. So.
Well, I've been calling him Greg for at least a couple of years now. Sure. But I do love the way he says Berhalter. I'm like, Berhalter. Sounds like somebody who's really cozy with large mammals. But yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, until the next time on the Straight Red Card, that was our goalie depth, which, oh, by the way, Brett, I gave a B+. I know, I gave it a grade.
Okay.
You don't have to have one if you don't want.
I don't have a grade for this now.
Or you could just say, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. We'll see you next time, folks. Cheers.